wants to be a top target, and two players will be trying to be that today. It's Hilton's Colts going up against Brown Steelers. So with that, let's get you out to the stadium. Standing by tonight are our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hello, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. As we get set here, Charles, we talk about wide receivers. You know, Larry mentioned it in the open, but that's a big spot to look at here in this one.
I think he identified it perfectly because these guys have such an impact on the game nowadays because they throw the ball more than ever. And whether they're throwing it short, medium, or long, can they snatch it out of the air and create even extra yardage with run after catch?
On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway from Heinz Field. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
I love everything about Andrew Luck's game, but I also love his worldliness. Some of his formative years were spent growing up outside of the United States. And I think that that's helped him when he came back because now he's seen the world. And I think that helped him mature a little bit as well.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. To throw is Luck. And his first look is incomplete. Here's the offense, and if you're the defense, Charles, you really have to focus on that guy that's highlighted on the screen.
You're talking about pure speed. T.Y. Hilton can get down the middle of the field and really stretch a defense.
Second and 10, Luck again. Left side, it's Dorsett. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Lawrence Timmons comes from a long line of productive Florida State players. And when I say productive, I usually mean spectacular.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got a man, complete. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down.
There's obviously nothing shy about the guys dialing up offense here. They take a shot on 3rd down, and boy, did they get rewarded, even though there was good defense on the play.
On 1st down, it's Luck. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Shamarko Thomas. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And this one caught by Coates. And he's brought down after a good gain. 20 yards on the pickup there. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now Roethlisberger on first down. It's complete to Brown, right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, 57 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. One play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On second down, here's Love. Allen's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
On first down, Love. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now it's 2nd and 7. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Luck now to throw. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down. One receiver left is Hilton. 3rd and 2, Luck. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. They'll get 32 yards there. And it's good enough for an Indianapolis first down.
3rd and short, and you're just trying to pick up a first down. Maybe run the football, throw a little short route. Pretty gutsy maneuver there. They took that thing downtown, and it paid off.
And now a first down following that long gain. Luck on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Back to the air. Luck on second down. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing again is Luck. And the catch made by Hilton. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And now it's second down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. On 2nd and 10, Luck. That's caught at the 3. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he? And this throw will be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
The Colts defense, they worked their way back onto the field. And it's the first quarter, but they gave up the score last time. How important is it here not to fall 2 scores behind?
Extremely important because not only are you trying to avoid being in a big deficit to start this game off, you also want to get into a pattern where that offense has the advantage. You've got to find a way to turn things around. This is the series to begin that.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep them off the scoreboard here for a second time. Now it's Roethlisberger. Green's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 16 on the pickup. And it's good enough for a Pittsburgh first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
It'll go as a gain of 10 there, and it'll give the Steelers a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than...
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Eric Walden coming in from his outside linebacker spot. He buries him for a loss of 10 or 11. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Hauled in by Wheaton over the middle. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And that'll lead here to a third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And the return here will go to the 31-yard.
Interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense.
There goes Marcus Wheaton. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Marcus Wheaton, 69 yards. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here is Andrew Luck, the focus of our player spotlight. So with the 3 interceptions, how does he erase those from his mind and just focus on this?
Coaching staff, maybe the offensive coordinator says, okay, let's do a few of the shorter throws, quick rhythm throws where the ball's out of his hand quickly into a receiver before the defense can react. Maybe not take so many shots downfield just in case. Get your confidence back up, and then later on, you expand the targets again.
The KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid, right?
I love it. I love it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground. It didn't go in the other direction.
Now the first carry here for Frank Gore. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
And Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. And the dreaded 3rd and long here for the offense. 3rd and long, it's Locke. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Cameron Hayward in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
They're going to go for it here on 4th. Luck in the offense is going to stay out there. They'll come out in the pistol. They are going for it. It's Luck. Looking deep down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And last time, the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score?
And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down in bounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet? Not just straight down, but back because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds. They weren't able to get it done on that one, though.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the first quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway, essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I've got to figure out how to slow this guy down. Because when one guy shreds your team, that's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least. But right now, he's showing no signs of slowing down.
Boswell for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Two seconds to go, first quarter. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. A hit. He throws there, incomplete. One quarter in the books. 21-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Back to the air. Luck on second down. And he floated one out there, incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And now it's third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Throwing on third down, Luck. Caught left side by Hilton. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on fourth down and 9. They're going to go. It's Luck. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Got a man open. It's Darius Hayward-Bay. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Holding offense.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And Green with a catch left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Green with a catch left side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Now Roethlisberger. Out left here, it's complete to Wheaton. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Marcus Wheaton with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now he'll let it go. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 45 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner. Toughness in the pocket. Strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart. Valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
On first down, it's Gore. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Give him 11 on the gain there. And that'll be good for an Indianapolis first.
Well, after those plays, the offense coordinator has to feel like he has balance in his favor. Threw it, then ran it, both for nice chunks of yardage. Now he feels like he's got things going in his direction, but the defensive coordinator, his guys are off balance a little bit. How does he set up, and what does he plan for in the next play? Is there a tendency there he can lock in on and maybe set his defensive call? Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. To throw on second down is Locke. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Arthur Moats. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 20, 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six. for a Steeler touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point now by Boswell. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. A little 360. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. A chance for us again to look at this Pittsburgh defense. Fresh off the pick six, it's locked. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Here's Luck. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
Throwing on third down, Luck. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now fourth down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory, but he will not make the first down marker, and that'll be a turnover on downs. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Ball spotted at the 4. It's second and goal. They'll try again with Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2. Now third down. An extra defensive back on the field here for third and goal. On third and goal, Roethlisberger. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
And sometimes pride wins, doesn't it? Because, yes, they're getting steamrolled here right now. They're down big, and they're going to try a fake field goal against them. Yeah, I'm not supposed to root, but good for them for stopping that one and showing that they have...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Brought in by Coates. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. They run with the fullback Nix. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, and you throw it again. Then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. And that is incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And Boswell's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if, while the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The Steelers defense getting ready here. They've certainly got something to build off of. They had the interception last time out.
And now they have to just make sure they're cognizant of not trying too hard for interceptions. Once you get one, it makes you a little more antsy to try and get another one. Now you got to be careful of double moves, different things like that against them. But they like the momentum that they've begun to build.
We'll see if they can keep that momentum going.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now on second down, this is Gore. And he is going to lose yardage here. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up third down.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how your guy's going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really anticipatory. And when you're really locked in together, you know what he's going to do before he actually does it. On this play, that didn't happen at all, and that turned into a big loss.
On fourth down, here's Pat McAfee to kick it away. And look at this, another fake. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I mean, you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock.
Key tight end. Hey, check nickel. Side, white 80. Mike, right here, over there. Mike, 52 to the mic. 50. Yes. Here we go.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And it's caught over the middle by the tight end, Green. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they get 28 yards on that one. And that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
Heavy. Watch the backfield. Hey, 81 right.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now it's Roethlisberger. And Green with a catch left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end the drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Steelers are way out in front, and you look at the turnover numbers, and that helps explain the lead. The Colts are getting blown out right now, even with all the turnovers they've forced. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Pick it up early in the first. The hurry throw would be picked off. Thomas is the one who makes the pick, halting the offense's drive. Offense out now following the INT. Browns wide open, able to make the grab. This play goes for a score. The Steelers land the first punch. Offense on the field now after the pick. Roethlisberger's going to complete the pass from the gun. And he'll win the sprint to the end zone. That puts them on top by 14. Offense now with the shot after the pick. Wheaton's the target on the quick pass. And after the short pass, he'll score. Steelers pushing the lead to 28. Colts have it on 2nd and 5. Under duress, and the pass is picked off. Moats is the one taking it back for the score. Steelers way out in front. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's Marcus Wheaton now to return it. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The second half starts with a carry by Bell. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Here's Roethlisberger. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. It's complete to Brown, right side. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. On the right side, caught by Green. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. They're never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it down that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession, and so far they've done a nice job of that.
And for the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Pardon, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes guys who are built with the dimension of linebackers can actually get lost from sight by the quarterback.
Well, they're usually not the tallest guys.
So, yeah, that allows them sometimes to kind of hide down in there, kind of get a little bit lower, and maybe he just never saw him. But, boy, he sure wishes he had. He picked it off and ran it all the way back for a touchdown.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Luck on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. On 2nd and 10, Locke. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. It got his man complete. A big play there for Indy. 41 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all of that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On the West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play? Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Hayward Bay. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Flushed out right. And Green with a catch left side. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there. And receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain. So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. very tough spot here for the offense to start. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Going for the deep ball. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
From his goal line here, Locke. And now here's another interception. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now a first down throw. Locke caught on the right side by Dorsett. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Shreds the tackle. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. So third down, just 1 yard to go.
So after that stop, you know that third down is not a gimme if you're on the offensive team. So what are you going to do? Run it again? Or maybe you go play action and try and throw the ball and pick up the next.
And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. If you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Darius Hayward-Bay, 40 yards. And the interception by the Steeler D leads to a touchdown. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move, And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. And, oh, it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
From the end zone, Luck. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Throwing on third down, Luck. He's going to look deep down the field. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Shamarko Thomas. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now Roethlisberger. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
That confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. On second down, Roethlisberger. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play. Well, he flew past 200, 300, 400 yards. Now he's over 450 yards passing on the day.
So what you're saying is oxygen for everyone catching the ball and trying to defend?
Yeah, especially those guys trying to defend right now.
No doubt. They've got to be a confused group because they haven't been able to defend him very well at all. And I think he just wants to keep...
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Double tight. Alert. 3 down. All right, here we go.
On the give, this is their fullback. And they'll get him down right about the 20. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. And on third down, the Colts have added an extra defensive back.
Flooding the passing lanes.
Roethlisberger will throw. And caught right side, Green. It'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a fourth down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. And Boswell's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
To throw is Love. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. No gain, and it's second down.
Love the effort. Love the dramatics. Getting the feet down. How about a little step shuffle along the sideline there, almost like a great ballet dancer or a tap dancer. All for no gain, though?
I was going to say, it's so pretty. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Oh, man. For him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I remember Philip Dorsett coming out of the University of Miami, ready to hit the league. All we talked about was speed, speed, speed. Just throw it to him, and you've got a great chance at a completion, but not that time.
Not that time. They tried a deep downfield with his speed, but incomplete. Now they're going to try this again. It's another fake. But he will not make the first down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs. And there's Ladarius Green and the rest of his offensive mates getting ready for the next drive. And we see here the productivity certainly has decreased from the start of the game, but sometimes people forget these tight ends, they can do more than just catch the football.
That is so true, because now when things start to happen and you're not getting the ball as much, maybe you change your focus on the game. Maybe you become a very good decoy. Maybe you block a little bit more. But sometimes you have such a great first half, you expect it to continue to roll, and it doesn't just happen that easily in the second.
Now they have been able to shut him down, at least as of late.
What's tight? Tight end's right. What's tight? Tight end's right.
They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Come on, let's go.
Now a Wildcat look. It's Bell. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They come out here in the eye. Big Ben going to take it himself. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Hey, give them credit. That's a good, solid game there in the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1.
Hey, check me out. We got 3 down. We got set. Look fire. 45. Keep.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Matt Spaeth, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Completes it to Moncrief left side. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job to fit. And look at this, another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah. Risky.
And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Now a first down carry by Bell. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. The veteran Robert Mathis there to make the tackle.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They get him that time thanks to the safety blitz as he sank for a loss of 4. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a carry for the veteran. This is D'Angelo Williams. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Muscles him off. They juked him. And he's able to get it down to the take him to 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was 3rd and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the first down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a first down.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Quan Bray now to return this football. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in? And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Shamarko Thomas. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, here's Williams. Williams loses the football. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior. And the Colts getting ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
10 yards still left on 2nd down.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. On 1st down, it's Luck. Surveying the field. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Good throw. Receiver does his job, and it's a 1st down for the offense.
Excellent execution all the way around. Plenty of time for the quarterback and the receiver to work their 1st down magic.
On 1st down, Luck. Now a desperation throw deep downfield and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
On 2nd and 10, Locke. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Third and long. It's Locke. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah. Risky.
And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.